This might just be me, but randomly, every time I walk around the house, this is all I say. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up?
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming and swallowed up? Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming and
All right. This is WD3. It's your Hill Report news break. I'm trying to hold it together here. Probably one of the funniest research I've ever done for a story. TD Jakes, Dallas, Texas preacher. At a time when a lot of believers, God's children, should be getting biblical guidance, at a time when folks should be led in the right direction, at a time when folks have lost trust in their leaders and they need someone to trust, especially someone who's holding the Bible and saying they represent God. Well, this is indicative of the trend that has been happening overall to the Black Christian church. It's about done. It can't fund itself anymore. Nobody believes in it. They can't back up their claims biblically when they speak to other factions. It really gets sad to see, especially someone who was so high as TD Jakes, basically get kicked out and humiliated in their church. But real seriously, definitely a lot of lessons to learn from this, and maybe some of you other preachers out there could use this to kind of tighten up the congregation. But anyway, for right now, we're just gonna laugh. You guys get into it. I don't know what else to tell you. Let's go.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up?
Have you ever? Come on. Been swallowed. Somebody lift your hands in the building. If you ever been swallowed. Oh, Lord. Till you lost your mind. Yes, sir. Till you lost your mind. Lost your mind. I need to know. Have you been swallowed?
Have you ever been swallowed up?
Tell me.
Swallowed up.
You know, you ever been through a time where you just been swallowed and swallowed and swallowed and you just been through some hard times and you just been swallowed and swallowed and swallowed and just swallowing and swallowed and you went through the downs and the falls and you just been and swallowed and you've been through the worst one, swallowed and been through the ups and the downs with the swallowing and you swallowed.
Been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming and you
The World Health Organization has declared a global health emergency following multiple outbreaks of a new monkeypox subvariant in Africa. This is the second time in 2 years that the WHO has taken such action. The new subvariant is primarily spread through close sexual contact. It has already led to over 17,000 reported cases in Africa this year. In the U.S., there have been no reported cases so far, according to the CDC. The previous outbreak led to nearly 500 cases in Massachusetts alone in 2022. Symptoms of monkeypox include a rash on the hands, feet, chest, and face.
Sunday morning at Potter's house, disaster struck as renowned preacher T.D. Jakes attempted to climb on the pulpit to give his sermon. Jakes, who had recently been suspended and excommunicated from the church, had been warned by his followers not to show up at church that day. Despite the warnings, Jakes remained adamant and determined to address the congregation. As Jakes made his way towards the pulpit, members of the congregation began to murmur and whisper amongst themselves. Some were shocked to see him there, while others were outraged that he would defy the church's orders and try to preach. The tension in the room was palpable as Jakes reached the pulpit and prepared to speak. However, before he could utter a word, several members of the congregation stood up and approached him, urging him to leave the church immediately. Jakes, who seemed unfazed by the resistance, insisted on delivering his sermon. The situation quickly escalated as more and more people began to stand up and voice their opposition to his presence. Realizing that the situation was spiraling out of control, the church leaders intervened and attempted to escort Jakes out of the building. Despite their efforts, Jakes refused to leave and continued to argue with the congregation. It was clear that he was not welcome at Potter's house, and the members were determined to enforce the church's decision to suspend and excommunicate him. After a tense standoff, Jakes finally relented and allowed himself to be escorted out of the church. As he left, the congregation let out a collective sigh of relief, grateful that the situation had been diffused before it could escalate any further. In the aftermath of the incident, Potter's house issued a statement reaffirming its commitment to upholding its values and principles. The church leaders emphasized the need for unity and respect within the congregation, and stressed the importance of
In a shocking turn of events, T.D. Jakes, the charismatic leader of the Potter's House, has announced his resignation from his pastoral position. This move comes amid a whirlwind of scandals and legal battles that have put his once untarnished reputation under intense scrutiny. The unfolding drama T.D. Jakes, whose full name is Thomas Dexter Jakes, has been a beacon of inspiration for countless followers worldwide. His leadership at the Potter's House has been marked by powerful sermons and a thriving congregation. However, recent months have brought a storm of controversy that has threatened to unravel everything he's built. The accusations against Jakes are serious and varied, including allegations of financial mismanagement and inappropriate conduct with church members. These claims have been piling up, creating a tangled web of scandal that has proven difficult to navigate. The shocking resignation. After a period of mounting pressure and failing to clear his name amid the growing number of lawsuits, Jakes has made the heart-wrenching decision to step down. In a statement released to the press, Jakes expressed profound regret over his resignation, but emphasized that it was a necessary step for both his personal well-being and the integrity of the Potter's House. "I have always strived to lead with integrity and honesty," Jakes said. "However, with these allegations hanging over my head, I cannot in good conscience continue in my role. Stepping down is the right thing to do for the church and for myself." What's next for the Potter's House? So what does this mean for the Potter's House? The church has announced that a search for a new pastor will commence immediately. Will it be Sarah, the church's dynamic associate pastor, or Jamar, the influential youth leader? The future leadership of the church remains uncertain, but officials assure members that services and programs will continue as usual during this transition period. The fallout Jakes' resignation marks the end of an era for the Potter's House. It raises questions about the future of the megachurch and the impact of these scandals on its global outreach. Will the church be able to recover and maintain its influential role in the community, or will this controversy mark the beginning of a significant decline? Join the conversation. What are your thoughts on T.D. Jakes' resignation? Do you believe the allegations are justified, or is this an overblown scandal?